Britain, land of timeless heritage, regal sophistication, and daring artistry. When it comes to perfumery, British fragrance houses are unmatched in their ability to combine elegance and creativity. Whether it's the opulence of Roja Dove, the playful spirit of 4160 Tuesdays, or the rich history of Floris London, these brands are setting the bar very high in 2024 and beyond. Today, we're counting down the top 10 British fragrance brands you need to try before this year's over with and definitely in the next year. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to smelling.
Yo, it's rockin' masterpiece. Welcome to the show where we talk about you already know. Step into the world where the scent is king. Fragrance reviews that'll make you sing. Luxury, boldness, it's all I do. From the top notes down to the bass too. Breaking it down so you know what's real. Colognes that hit, man, you know the deal. Stay fresh, stay fly, that's what it's about. Masterpiece fragrance, now let's check it out. From the streets to the suite, we keep it tight. Fragrances that shine day or night. Hit subscribe, come along for the ride. Masterpiece fragrance, let's go world.
Welcome to Masterpiece Fragrance Reviews. Here, we entertain and deliver fragrance reviews that stand out from the crowd. If you're into fresh perspectives and a unique vibe, well, you're in the right place. If not, feel free to kick rocks and move along. This isn't your typical fragrance review channel. Here, I mix entertainment with honest, in-depth reviews to create something truly fresh. So, if you're looking for just the basics, feel free to check out the other channels. But if you want something different, welcome aboard. And before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with your support because it's gonna keep me delivering amazing content like this.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Oh, wait a minute. What's that sound?
It's the scent of the day.
That's right. It's the scent of the day. And today's scent of the day is Mont Blanc Profano. This fragrance is all about tropical sophistication. I want you to think bright citrus, soft tobacco, and creamy suede. It's perfect for warm weather or that next beach vacation. It's gonna retail around $235 for a 50 ml. It's niche favorites that deserves a spot in your sample lineup. Now, let's get into our top 10 British fragrances brands that you gonna need to try before this year is over with. But remember, this was
It's the scent of the day. Coming to make your day. It's the scent.
countdown number 10. It's gonna be the House of 4160 Tuesdays. Its key fragrance is definitely London 1969. This quirky indie brand is all about creativity and storytelling. London 1969 is a nostalgic blend of patchouli, leather, and spices, transporting you back to the swinging 1960s. It's bold, fun, and perfect for anyone who loves a vintage vibe. So I would recommend you wearing one of their fragrances to like a music festival, a vintage party, or creative meetup. 60% says it's unisex, 30% says it's feminine, 10% calls it masculine. Number 9 is the House of Boadicea the Victorious. Our key fragrance is gonna be Ardent. You can get it for about $365. Listen, it's bold, it's intense. Boadicea fragrances are inspired by the legendary British warrior queen. Ardent blends saffron, rose, and oud into a fiery, dramatic scent. It's not for the faint of heart, but perfect if you want to command attention. It's going to be ideal for luxurious galas or power moves in the boardroom. 70% says it's something you wear for special occasions. 20% say it's something you can wear in the evening time, while 10% say it's their daily wear. All right, next is coming from the House of Atkinson. Key fragrance is going to be Her Majesty the Oud. for about $240 for 100 ml. Listen, it's a regal blend of rose, oud, and spicy saffron. 60% of its wearers says it's more feminine. 30% says it's something unisex. 10% says it's masculine. 45% of its wearers says it's something you wear in the wintertime, while 30% says it's something you wear in the fall. Only 25% thinks it's a springtime fragrance. 50% says it's something you wear in the evening, while 30% think it's just for romantic events. And only 20% thinks it's a daily wear. I'd say it's going to be perfect for upscale evening events if it's a romantic type event. Also, why it's unique? Because it's going to blend this heritage of sophistication and puts a nice twist on oud. Number 7, we have the House of Ormond Jane. One of the key fragrances is going to be Ormond Man. Listen, hemlock, black pepper, and vetiver for a daring, woody masterpiece. This is what the stats say. 70% says it's masculine, while 25% thinks it's unisex, and only 5% thinks it's feminine. 40% says it's something you wear in the fall, while 35% says it's winter, so you can go either or. 25% thinks it's something you wear in the springtime. 60% says it's something you wear in the evening, while 30% thinks it's a leisure type event, and 10% thinks formal. I would say this, wear it to creative events, rooftop parties, or artistic gatherings. And I'm gonna tell you why it's unique, because its exotic ingredients of bold compositions make it stand out. Number 6, we can't go without going through Clive Christian. That's right, one of the key fragrances is gonna be X for Men. You get it for about $525 for a 50 ml. Listen, Clive Christian is, you got cardamom, cinnamon, amber, and oud. It's bold, spicy, and it is long lasting. 80% of the wearers says it's more masculine. 20% says it's unisex. 50% of its wearers say it's something you wear in the wintertime, while 30% says it's a fall wear. 20% says it's something you wear in the evening time. 70% of its wearers says it's something you wear in the evening. 20% says formal, and only 10% think special occasions. Listen, it's perfect for luxury dinners, upscale galas, or a power move. And I'm gonna tell you why it's unique, because it's known for its rich presentation and unapologetic luxury. Number 5 is the House of Miller Harris. One of our key fragrances is going to be Tea Tonique, about $200 for 100 ml. Listen, bergamot, tea leaves, and smoky birch, a fresh unisex blend. This is what the stats say. 65% of its wearers says it's unisex. So ladies, if you want to get involved on it, come on. 25% thinks it's feminine, and 10% thinks it's masculine. 40% says it's something you do wear in the springtime, while 30% says summer. Only 20% thinks fall, and 10% thinks winter. 50% says it's a casual wear, while 30% say work and 20% say leisure. I'm gonna say it's great for casual office days or coffee dates at an outdoor cafe. Number 4 is Jo Malone London. One of our key fragrances is gonna be wood sage and sea salt. $155 for 100 ml. Listen, 60% thinks it's something more so unisex, while 30% of the wearers think it's feminine, and only 10% thinks it's masculine. So ladies, this is another cologne or scent if you want to dive into. I think it'll definitely benefit you as well. 60% says it's something you wear in the spring, while 40% thinks it's summer. 50% says it's a daily wear, 30% thinks it's more for layering, and 20% thinks leisure. I would say wear this if it's a springtime wedding, or something like the air isn't too humid. It's something that's really going to display elegance, but not overpowering. But they will know you've entered the building, or in this case, you're outside. And number 3, we have Floris London. Our key fragrance is going to be number 89. $190 for 100 ml. Your scent profile is going to be lavender, neroli, and oak moss. It's a timeless, gentlemanly classic. This is what the stats say. 70% says it is masculine. 20% says it's unisex, and only 10% thinks it's feminine. 50% of its wearers says something you wear in the springtime, while 30% says it's a fall type wear. And only 20% thinks it's something you wear in the wintertime. 60% thinks it's a work professional setting wear. 30% thinks it's formal events, 10% thinks it's something daily, casual. I would say it's perfect for a boardroom presentation or an upscale business lunch or a formal afternoon tea with your boys or, with your girlfriend or your wife. Why do I think it's unique? Because as one of Britain's oldest fragrance houses, Floris exudes heritage and craftsmanship, with number 89 being a signature scent favorite by discerning gentlemen. Number 2 is Roja Dove. We're gonna focus on Elysium. You can get it for about $315 for 100 ml. Some of the scent profile is definitely a lot of bright citrusy. Think grapefruit, lemon, because it's balanced with vetiver, blackcurrant, and ambiguous. A luxurious yet fresh composition. This is what the stats say. 75% thinks it's masculine, 20% thinks it's unisex, 5% thinks it's feminine, 50% thinks it's something you wear in the summertime, 30% thinks it's spring, 20% thinks it's fall. 50% of its wearers thinks it's something you wear for formal occasions, 30% special events like weddings or galas, 20% thinks it's something you can wear upscale. Here's what I think though. It's a luxurious choice for outdoor summer weddings, networking events, or an elegant evening by the waterfront. And this is why I think it's unique, because Roja Dove embodies high-end luxury, with Elysium being one of their most accessible yet sophisticated offerings. And number 1 is from the house of Peneloquins. Our key fragrance is going to be Blenheim Bouquet. You can get it for about $220 for 100 ml. Some of the scent profile is going to be lemon, lavender, and pine. It's a fresh and invigorating classic. This is what the stats say. 70% says it's masculine, while 20% says it's unisex. 10% thinks it's feminine. 50% of its wearers says it's something you wear in the springtime. 40% says it's something you wear in the summertime, while 10% thinks fall. 60% of its wearers says it's something you actually wear for daily usage. 30% thinks it's professional setting, and only 10% thinks it's something that's more leisure. I would say it's ideal for daytime brunches, garden parties, or casual spring outings. And why it's unique is because a timeless blend from a brand rooted in British heritage since 1870. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 British fragrance brands you absolutely need to try before 2024 is over. From the timeless elegance of Floris to the daring creativity of 4160 Tuesdays, these houses represent the best of British perfumery. Remember, always sample before you commit. Skin chemistry can make all the difference. Which of these brands are you most excited to try? Let your boy know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay bold and stay fresh.